really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Oh, it's 2023. Ladies and gents, we are back in the business. And by we, I mean, I am your host, Sands, but I am joined by the fabulous two co-hosts of mine of Wine, Cheese, and Comics, please. A sophisticated look at the world of comics and pop culture. First up, y'all know him, y'all love him. My man, the one, the only. What's his name? Y'all say it with me. Fat Thor? No, it's Matt, y'all.
This is how they work. I haven't done this in so long today. Cyclops it? No.
You know, Matt, it's like riding a bike or, what they say, making love. You get a couple strokes in and you're right back on the
brother. If I tried to get on a bike right now, my ass would fall off and the bike would break. I mean, I am so rusty in this game. I haven't seen your face since November. Like I almost forgot what you looked like.
Man, and that's a bad thing because I'm on everybody's channel every other day. That is crazy, man. Matt has been first of all, how are you and the family feeling, man?
Dude, we had a stint through December that I thought we were all dead. Like I don't think I think
I was like, hey, brother, how you doing? He said, hello.
From Thanksgiving to Christmas, it was like a blur of just rotating sickness in my house to the point where if my son came home from daycare and coughed, I was locking him in the tool shed. Like I don't care if it was -4 degrees. Like I was like, we have a day. We have a countdown clock.
Like he had his son in the shed, like Shaun of the Dead, like
straight up in the garage. I had the hose hook up and the lye. Like literally, I would squirt him with the hose and throw lye on him before he even got in the house.
Oh my God. Well, I'm glad you guys are feeling better. We got to get this other guy in the room, y'all. We haven't had a chance to see his face in a while, whether it be on an auction or anything, because he's been traveling all over the timelines, y'all, jumping multiverses. He's back. That man, PTT.
What is up? Let's freaking get it, boys. Let's do that freaking beat.
It reminded me of Wakanda.
It's crazy.
So there's a piece of that where I wish I could play the opening to it. It had like that, like you know how like when they go into Wakanda.
Yeah.
That was the whole reason I chose it because that was the best part of that movie.
Oh man.
Welcome in to Wine, Cheese, and Comics, please. I'm rocking some Hungarian sweet wine. It's called Tokaj.
Well, I'm so happy you got the wine and didn't spend 25 minutes of the show making dinner.
Oh my God! Last time that guy showed up like half an hour late and said, "Oh yeah, I forgot I had chicken and pasta." I was
sorry guys, I had to put the Parmesan cheese purely across the top, like soft bread. We have a show. There's people actually watching us. I'm sorry, folks. I'm malnourished. Give me a minute to eat.
Pinkies up. He was very high.
It was such a good meal too.
He said risotto with shaved. He had shaved truffles and everything else. I have a nice sparkly rosé here.
Nice.
So I'm holding.
And then I got some flagship 4-year cheddar cheese that I'm going to be munching on.
Oh, you got the powers.
Yeah.
Literally, my employees got me 6 bottles of whiskey.
God damn, they know to kill germs.
And that was like literally
brain cells.
The first one said this is to bathe in to get the germs off. The next one was to drink. So
I got some shrimp. We're going wine and shrimp tonight. No cheese, shrimp. All right, ladies and gents, if you're new, let me shout out who's out there. We got Liz Barnes in the chat. We have LS. Shout out to LS. Welcome to the community, my brother. We got Someday Da Vinci holding it down. Y'all do us a favor, share this out because we're going to have a blast tonight. Y'all know Wine and Cheese, what it's all about. We're going to talk about topics. We're going to dive into things. We're going to debate because this man over here, him, y'all,
I have 2 months of pent-up aggression just to take out on Sam.
That
Legit-
man right there, y'all.
If you see our
Legitimately,
DMs, you
2
would also.
months of literally just.
Hey,
And I
listen,
saved
Kyle,
half of it.
Kyle sometimes has to play ref. He literally played the judge last time.
Yeah, I had to
And who
settle
won?
this
Who
in
won?
court.
Who won? Who won? Who won?
Yes, yes. He's
No, no,
right.
no, no,
I
no, no,
won.
no, 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 no,
He
no.
gave you a.
What?
It was a
It was
default. It was a what you would call it of the court because
there,
technically,
I had to hold the court in contempt because there was some side bets. Like, who won the bet, by the way? Was there any payout or what?
Me.
What went on?
Listen to me carefully.
Okay.
Don't be smart with me.
I'm just being
Don't be smart with me.
Don't make me pull in my
this
wheelhouse.
motherfucker,
I will
this
bring
motherfucker.
I will bring all the memories back.
Hey, that's you're struggling because you lost. That's why you're bringing out the old stuff, y'all. But listen, each one of y'all email every male and female, let them know the details. We're live, ladies and gents. So we got a lot on the plate today. I think, let's start it off light, man. Let's start it off light.
I want to recap 2022.
You want to recap 2022?
I know we're 25 days in the year. I'm sorry, we're a little bit late. Every other show did their 2022 recap. I want to just recap it.
All right.
Let's do it.
So it's gonna be a 3-question thing. Was it a good year? Was it a bad year? That's question 1.
Okay.
What was your most memorable thing, whether it's movies, TVs, comics, and what's one thing you wish you could have cut out completely? So, good year, bad year, memorable thing. What would you cut out completely? Kyle, you're first.
Chat. You guys can get involved in this too.
Yeah,
I was gonna take notes.
Well, fine. Since you're noting, I'll go first. The year was horrible. Like, I think 2022 was the year that killed comics in my book.
Okay.
Most memorable thing, hands down, was the charity show. We blew the roof off that charity show above and beyond. Probably will be one of the greatest moments of my life in probably the next 3 or 4 years, even though we'll do another one this year. And we'll just set the bar higher. But still, I was so blown away by the support from the comic community, from artists, from people that hop on. Sans, I can't thank you enough. Huge moment. And what's the one thing I could replace? My God, dealing with having your own variant comic created and dealing with shipping. I swear to you, I am almost a one-in man in Canada and the UK. Legitimately, at this moment in my life, there is probably a wanted sign if I land in Canada or UK because 2 individuals could have died last year, just straight disappeared off the earth.
Man, I'm sorry, man. As a partner with you in these ventures, that, my friend, had to be one of the wildest rides, man. We sent stuff off to Canada to get remarked and signed. It literally disappeared for the next 6 months, y'all. In the creators and in the artist's hands, he lost the first batch. Second batch, he did not want to send it over to the UK for it. It became this whole nightmare. This has been one of the most. Then we sent to UK, and he lost a batch too.
A batch of the books that were previously signed that took
ridiculous.
us 6 months to get them from Canada.
And then he lost them. Luckily.
And the bridge with Canada was damn near blown up. There was no going back on that
there was
bridge.
no going back to Canada. We nuked that bridge in Canada. We were like, it's not going down. So luckily they have been found and they're on their way, man. Now I've been waiting for books from the UK for about a month now. So it's taking forever.
I'm not holding my breath, brother, until they get to the doorstep. I'm not holding my breath, but I'm trusting. But I'm telling you, if you don't see me in the next 6 months, I went to the UK.
You went to the UK. I know your pain. So 2022, I'm gonna say 2022 was a good year. I know by a lot of standards, the comics are coming back down to earth. But for the most part, that bubble is more of a course correction. I don't think they've dropped below like 2020 numbers or 2021, but they're coming back to earth. And a lot of people who maybe sunk a lot of money into comics in 2021 is feeling that they're gonna. And I don't think they're gonna get back up to those 2021 numbers. I think it's gonna level off, and you're gonna have some spikes here or there. But we had a unique phenomenon where people were home, government was giving out money, and people were getting back into this hobby like crazy. So people were just pumping it, speculating on everything, and it's going to correct. So 2022 to me was a good year because I feel like from a cookie shop business, from a branding, from a from a standpoint of growing this community, it's been a fun year for that perspective. Comics and comic movies, Marvel, I can't say the same.
Wait, what happened to Marvel? We gonna talk about that?
we got to talk about that.
Phase 4, you coming back down to reality on phase 4, right?
Listen, what did I say? I said Wakanda Forever. I said Wakanda Forever had to save it. I thought it was a good movie. It didn't save phase 4. Love and Thunder took phase 4 and threw it under the bridge.
I tried to get the one sound, and the soundtrack was the best part of the movie. I was trying to get that in our intro.
Love and Thunder was too far under the water for anything to save 2022 movie-wise. Now, what was the second and third part of your question?
I don't know, man. I honestly, Love and Thunder was so far underwater, but Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was worse than Love and Thunder in my book.
All right. So, Sans, like I said, I was taking notes. Second question is, what was the most memorable? And then third was, what would you remove?
Most memorable part of 2022 from a comic book standpoint, I'm going to agree with Matt, man. So each year, the cookie shop has been involved in like these charity auctions and different things of that nature. And when Matt was like, hey, this is going down, let's do this, I was like, yo, I'm on board. You know, this platform, your partnership, let's go. And it turned out like so many people were knocking on our doors. So many people was like, hey, how can I contribute? People started coming to the show. To see the numbers that it ended up with, like 4,500, close to 5,000, Matt?
Almost 5,000. And then the day of the auction, we had another basket loaded with stuff, and we brought in another 450 with that. So you know, and it was one of those things where we don't have the biggest channel or the biggest promotion, but the community came out in support. So I gotta say that was one of the biggest highlights of the year for me. But partnering on this show has always been a crazy highlight. One thing I could replace. The beating you got last episode.
I didn't get a major beat down, man. You were throwing in all kinds of videos and still couldn't get a win. The one thing I would replace from 2022 is Whatnot, man.
Okay. I want to talk about that too.
For me,
don't worry, it'll come out.
2022 is everything can be summed up by what was exposed with Whatnot. No, man, I'm not letting you play this goddamn video. 58 seconds, kiss my ass. Whatnot, ladies and gents. The machine that it is, it went from these humble beginnings where it was literally the buzz around 2021. Everybody was like, "Oh, you on Whatnot? What's going on? How do you get on to Whatnot? What is this thing?" Right? Oh, what are you talking?
Cool.
It was like that meme where Homer's in the bar and everybody's like looking at Whatnot, right? And you're like, "What?" And then you get exposed to this thing and you start to hear, "Oh, well, there's contract issues. Oh, well, this favoritism and people aren't getting promoted the same way, and this, and then we get to the con seasons, and holy hell broke out. And to be honest with you, there's always been the underhand dealings and stuff like that, but Whatnot exposed it to a level where people
it ruined the con. They ruined the con. They ruined
experiences were ruined. And it was not just one con, it was con after con after con. So I gotta say, if there's one thing that was worse that I would remove, would be Whatnot.
I honestly, other than the book, I couldn't agree with you more. I think cons got destroyed for me. I didn't buy anything at the cons. I went for the whole charity event. For 2 cons I went to, it was nothing but the charity event. I didn't pick anything up. I didn't pick any exclusives up. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. The drama in the comic community and hearing about it every other week. Oh, let's talk about Nerdy Girl. Oh, let's talk about Rage Theo. Let's talk about Black. I don't care. No one cares. Let's talk about shit that's actually important. Like the beating I gave Sans last week.
This motherfucker. Keep bringing it up. Kyle, what's going on 2022? Break it down for us, Kyle.
Started off pretty good. I was enjoying 2022. We were riding a high. We were doing all right, and then shit just kind of hit the fan. So I look at things more from like an independent perspective when I'm buying my comic books. I'm not that big on DC and not that big on Marvel.
Indies
2021
Crazy.
was the best the best
Hands
books.
down.
Like
Saga.
I'm looking
all-
back. Yeah, exactly. I'm looking back. I'm trying to create I'm a little bit late on creating my best of 2022 list. And a lot of them are titles that started in 2021 and continuing on to here. And I don't even know if I'll release a list.
One shots.
Yeah.
The one shots, the bad day one shots.
Oh,
Can't be
those are
beaten,
cool.
my shirt. Can't be beaten
Mhm.
for me. Sorry.
And then what's it called? The Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. That was on my list for 2021, and it ended with a bang. And I was like, this is awesome. But okay, but like the good stories they're not the money bringers. Like it doesn't work that way. And that leads me right into the memorabilia. What I thought was memorable was buyers and just comic, like people who are into comics, they started wising up. And that was the most memorable thing for me in 2022, because people started like calling out bullcrap and
Yes.
saying, hey, like, I'm not cool with this. Wait a second, you're trying to do what now? What was the print run? People started asking questions, and guess what the response was? Oh, well, this stuff happens all the time. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. It's not even that you're gonna defend it. It's gonna be like, oh,
It's 100 now, but we have 300 in the back, and next Saturday it's 250, and
exactly.
then because it's only 250, these 75 are going on eBay to make it 325.
And if it's
another,
if we sell it at a different con, we can say it's a different exclusive.
and we have extra cellophane wrap in the back, so we're just gonna crisp that over and put an acetate cover on it.
So
I got a guy that does great spray painting details.
And on top of that, we're gonna take your wife. So go.
yeah. The drama. Oh my god, that I didn't know what I don't know what to do with my Clayton Crane stuff. Do I support it or what?
Just hold it. People are buying it. Drip drabs.
You keep it, man.
I mean, the man.
You ask him to write "Hide Your Wife" on it.
Well, and the man only draws like one body type too. Like it's very. I'm like, wait a second. Mary Jane looks a lot like Spider-Gwen. Wait a second. Spider-Gwen looks a lot like Wonder Woman, or not Wonder Woman. Freaking whatever he draws. Basically, it's the same figure, big boobs, tiny features and stuff like that. Very unrealistic. Oh, and thighs super muscular. Anyways, so yeah, people calling out what's going on behind the scenes and asking for change. I think that's the most memorable part, is that we're a stronger community because of it. In a sense that okay. Here's my beef.
I'll fight you on that.
Here's my beef.
I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Influencers in comics are not even influencers, because none of us have 1 million followers.
Right.
Our community isn't that big.
All right, I'll fight you on that. So
Go ahead, Matt.
We gave more attention to the influencers with the drama than the influencers ever had on their own. So we influenced the influencers.
We created a bigger monster.
Which killed me. We
with that.
influenced books that didn't need to be big. So we as a whole community hurt the community with this nonsense. Honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
But I agree with you. We became smarter, because at the end of the day, the buyers have the control. If you don't like it, don't buy it. I don't care what you buy. I don't care what you spend your money on. I hope you love it because it's your money. You worked hard enough to get it. Do whatever you want with it.
There's so many people that get stuck on FOMO, and at the end of the day, you didn't even like that cover. You're like, why did I buy this?
Okay, and that's perfect transition for what I want to remove. Variance for influencer profits is what I want to remove. However,
I don't understand that. I don't understand that, Kyle.
However,
that's every variant.
I buy comics a lot strictly based on art.
Me
so
too.
if there's a cover that I like, I'm gonna buy it, man, because it looks good on my wall.
Yep.
It looks good, just like it. I'm all about the art. Like there's a reason why I'm so big on Stranger Comics, because the art fucking kills it. Like I'm just like, it's 100%. So freaking awesome. And at the same time, to have something be exclusive. Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. Got some Blade homage.
You relax your flex over there, all right? Just control yourself.
So
it's a family show, all right?
The last thing I bought.
God damn it, I'm coming for you.
The last thing that I bought from Stranger Comics, I asked them. I was just trolling them. I was like, you know what? I want it to have, number one, I want it to have some BBJ love. For anybody who knows who BBJ is, Black Boy Joy.
Yep.
And what his love was, he took it and just slapped it for me. And then I had them double sign it, so it's just filled with signatures on the front of it. But I don't know. I just think that more people are having fun in the hobby, even though money's tight. But we're also a pretty tight knit community. So thanks for the 14 people sitting here and enjoying some wine and cheese with us. I appreciate it.
I want to know what these 14 people thought was the highlights of their years. Like, I mean, I've seen some people.
Yeah, posted in chat.
Some people are looking at diamonds.
2022.
Yeah, I'm telling you this right now. Liz Barnes has been hands down probably one of the best comic community in like the top chat supporter poster. Like, if I was to give a medal away, I would. It'd be no contest. Like, she has supported everything this year, every post, every chat, every auction, and I look for her in the chats when I join. Like, hands down, I look for her.
Liz and I have chatted, and she gets this community. She gets to learn from all the people involved in it. And it keeps, her, focused, her mind on good things. And so shout out to Liz Barnes, man. She's been a great addition to this comic community. But shout out to everybody out there, man. You guys are killing it.
What? Geeky Dad started selling? Hell yeah, dude.
Geeky Dad has been selling, y'all. He used to buy from me in drip drabs. I'd be like, oh, okay, here's Geeky.
Yo, don't you know he buys from you and then marks it up on his show, man? He knows where the deal is.
Found out that guy had all kinds of goodies, man. So
yeah. No, people be hiding books. Nobody knew what I had for a long time.
Oh, nobody knew that you had like all of these $10 million books in the background. Everybody's like, is Kyle on tonight? But
I will be back eventually.
To get him to move in with me. I kept
it's like,
the East Coast was calling his name. I'll pick you up at the airport. I'll book you the flight. You got a house, a bed, solid internet. I'll even buy you a new headset. You don't got to put the foam on the tip.
I know, because you'll hear me breathe if I take this off. You'll hear.
Look at Nathan. Nathan said he brought 50 profit number ones in 2022.
Jeez, Nathan.
Good Lord, Nathan. Oh, you should have died. Oh, woo. All right. Let's transition, man. Let's have a little fun, because some of that whatnot 2022, that influencer, that's you want to get that off your shoulders a little.
Bad taste.
Oh man, can we talk a little bit about The Last of Us? Ooh, y'all see that lineup we about to talk about, ladies and gents. And first on the list is The Last of Us, man.
Why are we gonna start with The Last of Us? Because I like The Last of Us, and I want to start with something I like.
Let's start with Willow.
I want to start with Willow.
Oh my God! All right.
I want to start with Willow.
Matt.
But first, stop. I gotta lead this.
Yes, Matt. I want you to start this off.
Listen.
Let's go.
I need you up front. I need you right here. So
yeah, go for it.
Hear my voice. Ready? Explain to me what you remember of the original Willow. Go.
As a youngling, I enjoyed the fantasy trope very much. So things like Conan, things like
Willow. I want to talk
Willow,
Conan. Talk
things
Willow. Come
like
on. What do you remember
you
about the
know
movie Willow?
the Princess Bride, all of these fantastic fantasy things, right? So when you come to a movie like Willow, you get this little character who
Peck.
is the Peck who finds a little daikini baby, right? It's just so funny hearing their language, everything about that show. And they find this little baby. The daughter's like, "Can we keep it?" It becomes this whole thing in the land of hobbits for them, right? They're like, "We can't keep this baby. We can't." And it turns out they want to go on a journey to return this baby.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, you got all of these people who are thinking this child is the prophetic hero, the savior of the world, and you got others who want to destroy this kid, right? So these little people are just humble, trying to give this baby back. They go on this epic hero's journey where they meet a wild man who cares for nothing, just wants his freedom,
What's his name?
Mad Monaghan.
Okay, good. Okay, we're good. We keep going.
Wild man, cares for nothing, just wants to get out of the way. He's like, he's in the brothels, he's doing everything. Does not give a ish about this baby or these daikinis, but he is attached to them somehow because their journey has now crossed paths and they are now locked. So you got this whole redemption story on top of the hero's journey, and they're going towards. Meanwhile, they meet an evil character who falls for the madman.
What's her name?
Her name is Portia.
Sorcerer. Let me help you out there. Okay, go ahead. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. She falls for the madman, and
all right, folks, that's enough of Sans because he can't even name the characters. So
yeah.
I have serious problems. Okay, so why did you not like the new Willow? Why? Everything you said, fantasy, grouping, Sorcerer, prime characters coming back.
Right, I'm gonna let you finish. What you
not like?
The new Willow was trash.
Why?
You know why?
Why?
Because one,
you love Miss Marvel. How could you hate Willow?
I did not say I love Miss Marvel. I said Miss Marvel.
My God, you literally would have put stock in Miss Marvel episodes 1 through 4.
Kyle, can I get some love here?
Yeah. Well, I just need to clarify. I just need to clarify Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel, Sans and I both said that it started off really well. We got cultural exposure. The ending tanked it.
Exactly. So Matt, please stick to the facts here. Stop trying to influence the people. When I talk about Willow, right? You go from, first of all, who asked for this to be made? Nobody.
I did.
Nobody.
Willow was a staple of my
Nobody
childhood.
asked for this to be made.
It was my favorite announcement at D23.
Thank you, Kyle. Okay, keep going.
Second of all, Willow was a lovable little Peck.
What
was he in this show?
Lovable.
Oh, this motherfucker.
Come out. Willow sucked. Willow was the worst freaking sorcerer for 90% of that movie.
Willow was a lovable little Peck who was trying to be a sorcerer.
My God, I wish I lived in Virginia. I
was a groggy old fart trying to yell. All he did was yell at this damn girl for 10 episodes.
Because she didn't have confidence in herself.
It wasn't Willow.
Willow. He did not have confidence in himself.
It wasn't
the entire freaking movie.
Now,
Morgan had to literally pick him up by his underwear and carry him to the end. And you're mad that he did this for another.
It just wasn't Willow. First of all, when we met the Daikinis, they were happy, cheery people in their little village. This time they were like underground, like it wasn't any joy about them.
It's been like 50 years.
It's been 20 years. Get your facts right. It's been 20 years, and It didn't look like. I mean, it looks like the same lands in terms of what was going on without bad mortar for the last 20 years.
Correct.
So they haven't had the same threats that they had necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one thing I did love about this series was the villains, which we saw in episode 1.
Did it put you to sleep when you watched it?
We saw episode 1. We saw some great villains in the last 10 minutes, and then we didn't see them again until like episode 4 or 5.
What are you talking about? You had all the remnants of them. You had the remnants of them. Listen, the only negative part of Willow was the fact that people set their standards too high. And the fact that Flash Gordon from Spider-Man was in that film, because I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's talk about that then, right? Flash. All right. So, first of all, the tropes in this, right? You're marrying your daughter off when you yourself did not get married off. You went and married anybody you want who was supposedly the madman, right? You're marrying your daughter off. Not for love, but for this power trope. This guy they make the husband look like he's going to be some, dweeb of a guy. Why couldn't he be a Prince Charming?
Because he's Flash from Spider-Man.
Right,
he deserves to be treated like shit.
What I'm saying is they did not build up the characters and
they
on
didn't
top of
build
that,
up the original Willow, like everything that this
who
TV
the hell
series
is sending those 3 or 4 people to
Who
find
the
their
hell
son?
sends Willow to give back a baby? The dude can walk like 15 steps and a normal person
but the
takes 2.
Daikinis found a baby. They were all Daikinis. None of them were like special. They all had to walk like that. What I'm saying is,
I agree with Stan's on his point.
You have 5 freaking young kids and an old guy you're sending out into this world. You have a freaking army. I send my army to go get my son back, not my only other child that got kidnapped. I'm gonna send my daughter to go get my son and potentially lose both of my children. Awesome nostalgia.
I'm sorry. They had original Sorsha. They brought back the voice of Man Morning, because we all know that Val Kilmer can barely get up out of a chair. I mean, I love the man. He Maverick was
my God, Maverick.
Stop talking. We're talking about Willow right now. Relax. Okay. Borman was the new Mad Mardigan, hands down.
I love Borman.
Borman was one of the best characters in the entire series. If you say something negative about Borman,
I have nothing negative to say about him outside of the fact that I just wish they would have fleshed him out a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I want more Borman. That's nothing. There's nothing wrong with that.
It made sense with Laura Danning. Like
Laura Danning was terrible.
Holy
on top.
Shit, just get the hell out of here! I can't.
Can you highlight my comment that says starts with please?
Which one? that one right there.
Shutterduck just said I couldn't get a word in, so I've just been typing. And that's why I started putting notes.
Oh, bad acting. Say it again. Oh my
God. This was my biggest beef.
Tell me that original Willow wasn't bad acting.
Oh,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Well, that's
the freaking monkey men were like,
that's why this was my first point.
It was literally
why are you standing to those standards though?
Because why do I want something that's, if you're gonna give me something new and fresh, don't call it Willow.
You gave me something worse than the original.
Bullshit! It's such a builder.
Wait a minute.
Series.
This was better than the original.
I'm not. It's on par with it. It gave me the same fantasy, the same story. It gave me Man Mardigan. It gave me the tie. It gave me armor. It gave me everything. And it had a perfect ending to set up so much more. And you know what? For the first time, I will stand behind Disney, and they actually had somewhat natural LGBTQ content.
It was nothing natural.
It was natural. She didn't know she was in love with the girl.
No way. They shoved it down your face in the first 5 minutes.
She did not know. And then she was upset.
I would have been perfectly fine had that come about during that forest scene. and
Okay.
things kind of were. But
I
it was
can't
like
with
the
you.
first 5 minutes. We got to
I
give you
can't-
this
I can't.
chemistry right now.
Listen, you Marvel fanboys, I can't take it.
Man,
can't take it.
listen.
You want to ruin everything around here. Just for once, just enjoy something. Go back to Miss Marvel and you enjoy your Miss Marvel, okay?
Listen. I hope for a
Next,
second
you're going to tell me
season.
National Treasure was the best thing you've ever watched.
You like this National Treasure that
No,
Disney
I haven't
put
watched
out?
it yet, but I'm waiting for
Oh,
you to say you love it. So I can
That
hate
is
it.
trash too. That
Yeah,
is
see?
trash too.
How can you have National Treasure around Nicolas Cage?
Right.
So
I will agree with
I'm
that.
done with this.
so when are we going to be done sifting through the trash? When are we
Trash
gonna
is
have
his
good
opinion
content?
on Willow.
Okay, well, fair. Okay, that's. Well,
So
I think
we'll
that
never be done with that.
I think with Sans is that he
What's up,
enjoyed
Legion?
the nostalgia of the first one. Hey, what's up, Mark? The nostalgia of the
all
first
there.
one was
All there.
ruined by the
Because when
the
you watch the
well,
first one,
Sans
you're
Sans
looking at it
listens
through the eyes of a 9-year-old. Now you're
but
looking at
Sans
it
is
through the eyes of a 30-plus-year-old. I mean, like, come on, man.
and Sans is trying to say that it's unnecessary. Like the show
It was
was
unnecessary.
I hardly ever agree with Mark on comments. I actually the sad part is I understand what Sans is saying and I agree with him, but I liked Willow. I legit liked it. So
and that's okay because everyone has their opinion.
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Like-
Yeah, that's
like
the whole point.
Justice
You
League,
asked
Zack
for it.
Snyder's good. Everyone says it's trash, but you still enjoy it. It's still fun.
Yeah.
And for the most part, when people go against the grain,
I
and they
enjoyed
love
Willow
something-
more than every Phase 4 film of Marvel. Every one of them.
Oh no.
Well, here's
no.
a transition. I always talk with Mark. I think that Peacemaker is garbage.
Mm.
Who created Peacemaker? Let's talk
James Gunn.
about it.
James
Let's talk
Gunn?
about it.
James Gunn. Well,
No.
it's funny how Peacemaker gets to stay though. Everything else needs to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
But Peacemaker-
Rock. We don't need the Rock.
We don't
And-
need the Rock.
And
we
then
don't, we
Rock
don't
was like
need
burning
Henry
bridges on his way
Cavill?
out.
What
Rock
kind of blasphemy is this to remove Henry
Do
Cavill?
you
as
know there's
Superman?
a major class action lawsuit
Yes.
from Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, and Gal Gadot against WB for like, I think it's upwards of like $350 million.
Jesus.
Because
Well,
when they signed on to WB, they were signed on to be the Holy Trinity, and they were
Yeah.
supposed to have X number of films.
Yeah.
Now that James
And
Gunn
they
came
turned down so many projects because of that.
in, correct? So they cut them. So now they're in like a huge like we turned down X number of projects because we were dedicated to DC in these films, and now you cut us, so we lost out on revenue we could have had.
The Rock also burned bridges. He turned down a cameo in Shazam 2.
Mm-hmm.
So-
That and he went above James Gunn and everyone else and just made it
Yeah.
a video.
The Rock.
He's like, no.
You're hearing all kinds of stuff backstage that The Rock just really wanted to run the DC universe himself.
Yeah.
Going forward, and him and Gunn with
Well-
the changes was not going to
well,
happen.
What do you do with two people that have egos that they can't freaking contain?
You got
Rock
to get
can't
one
keep
of
him
them.
in his muscles, and James Gunn can't get out of the 80s to save his life.
Well,
Sorry,
the-
I'm poking too much fun. I'm sorry.
All
but
right.
had the movie been half as good as it was promoted to be,
Okay, yeah.
it could have had a little bit more legs.
The
But
Rock would
honest-
rather sell whiskey than promote Black Adam, though.
But the movie just was not good. That's
That's
the
fair.
problem.
It
Yeah.
was The Rock, though. How did you go in expecting good? The best part of Black Adam was Pierce Brosnan.
Dr. Faith was definitely the best part.
Pierce Brosnan.
I hated,
Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate in Black Adam was better than the entire Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
I can't be mad at that comment. That might be the comment of the month right there. I can't be mad at that comment. All right. So James Gunn, let's talk
Yes.
about it in chat. What do you guys think of Gunn?
It's-
He's
oh
Oh my
now
God,
leaving-
William.
He's now leaving the MCU. His last film will be coming up in March, May?
Yeah.
Guardians of the
there's-
Galaxy.
Yep.
First of all,
Hold on.
uh-oh.
Do you see this comment down here?
You are an example of why people should have to take tests before they're allowed to have children.
Uh-oh.
This guy comes in. Just comes out of nowhere. Shows up.
Badass.
I'm out of here. I'm out. Put him back in jail where he belongs.
So Guardians 3. First of all, we had a big argument about this Christmas special, which Matt absolutely loved. I could.
It was
do,
the best part of Guardians. It was like
I-
Guardians #1 all over again.
I could
It,
do
brought
without
I
it.
enjoyed it. I'm with Matt.
it was
I
like
could-
Guardians 1. It got rid of all the dumb Guardians of
I
Guardians
can
2.
do without it, but so be it.
Oh, we
Guardians
can
3,
all do without it.
yeah.
I'll agree with you on that. But it was fun.
Guardians 3 coming up, and again,
Mm-hmm.
I know we're jumping over Ant-Man and maybe some other stuff, but Guardians 3, James Gunn. The expectations is that this is going to set up a lot of stuff that
No, Ant-Man's going to set everything up.
Ant-Man's going to set everything up, but Guardians 3 has new characters like Warlock and other thing that people have been waiting for a long time. With regards to it, though,
The Warlock train was missed in Guardians 2. I'm
I
sorry.
agree.
You set him up in
I
the intro
agree.
of Guardians 2.
You set them up in the first one.
Don't bring him back. Don't bring him back 3 movies later because you're like, oh man, maybe the fans fucking want him back. But
Yeah.
But Gunn wasn't a part of it. Gunn wasn't a part of it. Now, one, do we believe Guardians 3 is going to leave on a high note for Gunn? And
No.
then two, what is Gunn's future in DC? Can he right the ship?
all right, so I'll start with Guardians 3. One,
Okay.
Guardians 3, 90% of the cast has given up on Marvel. They have lost their direction with Marvel. Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, they're good. They're good with this being the end. They don't want any extended contracts. Dave Bautista wanted out of Marvel after Endgame. He wanted out. He wanted to go to DC and be Bane. He actually was a huge proponent trying to push for Bane being the next the villain for the next Batman film.
I also heard that. Yeah, Batista really wants that role.
Yep. And everything they did to Gunn, where they cut him out for things he said 25 years ago or whatever, was just a joke. I'm sorry. So they brought him back just to finish his trilogy because no one else would want to step in to do Guardians 3 after Gunn's legacy. I mean, look at everything with Snyder. They cut off the trilogy. It's like telling Nolan, "Oh, I'm sorry, you couldn't do, The Dark Knight Returns because, you told a baby in 1972 that he couldn't have a lollipop." So, Guardians 3 will be an end of an era, but Guardians 2 was so bad. My expectations for Guardians are right there with Phase 4. Ant-Man, I'll be honest with you, is right there with Phase 4. I don't think they failed. They failed to create the big bad that they did with Thanos over a series of films, and Phase 4 was just a lull of bullshit to get to Ant-Man, where we finally have a ultimate threat. So
Okay.
I don't know. And again, they pumped money into just stupid TV content versus pump money into good content. And I will go back to my graph of 4 films, 9 hours of content. Phase 1, amazing. Phase 2,
Absolutely.
14 hours of content, amazing. Phase 3, 16 hours of content, amazing. Phase 4, 52 hours of content, absolute trash.
Oh my God.
I would just call it forgettable.
No, it's absolute trash. There's no rewatchability. There's no point to rewatch it. It added nothing to story. It was just, hey, you like this character here, you get to see us
It
do
didn't
fucking
move.
series with
The
them.
TV, the problem for me was the TV shows and the movies did nothing together in a good way. And it didn't move each other for me in a good way. And the movies seemed out of order. The movies, I had 1 or 2 that I've actually watched again, and that's about it.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
That says it all. I mean, like,
So can he save DC though?
no. You want to know?
No.
You want to know why? You want to know why I say he can't save DC? And here's the reason why. If James Gunn was a man of morals, Ezra Miller would have been the first cut he made.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. There's no reason. There's
But
End of story.
But they're sticking with Ezra Miller, and
Which
you
is so
cut
dumb.
someone like Henry Cavill as Superman.
You
There's no
symbol of hope.
there's no logic. Like literally, that is the mic drop.
Flash in the pan.
Like you literally took the state. He was the. And I don't care. You can fight me all you want.
Mhm.
He was the best Superman.
I don't disagree with that, man. He's in my top Superman. Ezra Miller staying on was kind of both shocking and flooring, and then it was just like, how much do they expect to make off of this guy?
Why? If you are a proponent of righteous, good, rewriting the ship, this man, yes, he needs help. He needs help. He needs psychological help. He has pled guilty for armed robbery. He broke into a house, stole alcohol, whatever. He needs help.
Kidnapping.
That is not the staple of an individual that would represent the Flash. Period.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And then you stick with someone like Peacekeeper, who is like kind of the opposite. Like I can't get behind. I can't get behind it.
This is the way I feel DC is going, and their reboots are not going to work.
They're not going to work. They're going to fail, and then they're going to be back to square one, and they're going to try to go and get Ben Affleck back, and they're going to try to get Henry. It's going to be too late. It's dead. Like in my opinion, DC, and I'm yes, he may put out a good movie here. He may put out something there because he did okay with Suicide Squad 2.
Batman was okay too.
But Batman wasn't him. Batman was Matt Reeves, and Batman came from a guy that did it.
You would have to follow that.
No. Batman is going to stay solo. It's going to stay its own thing. Matt Reeves is going to do a 3-part trilogy, same as he did with Planet of the Apes, and it's going to be phenomenal. And that's going to have nothing to do with the DCU.
I keep hearing they're trying to.
Matt Reeves doesn't want to do it. Matt Reeves does not. He wants to do just like Planet of the Apes, his 3-part trilogy, just like Nolan.
He really
make
is
his statement and be out.
That would be hilarious if you find out he's been doing this because he's been getting into Heath Ledger role because he wanted to be the Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way out.
And I'm going to be. I got to talk about this. We did not lose Henry Cavill from Witcher because of Superman. Not at all.
No,
we lost Henry Cavill from Witcher because the fucking writers of Witcher didn't want to stick to the truth, the facts, the books, the content. And Henry Cavill literally grew up on those items, and he was a huge proponent of it. And when they decided to make a hard 90 degrees to let's go do some stupid shit, he was like, bye-bye. And he went.
He told him
after
season
Where
1.
did he go? He went to Warhammer 40K, and he literally has all the rights to do it right. So
he told him after season 1, you can't veer off of this. I'm not going to be a part of it. It wasn't The Witcher that it wasn't like he said. It wasn't James Gunn that lost The Witcher for Henry Cavill. He decided against that.
Absolutely.
And again, who else could be Wonder Woman other than Gal Gadot? I'm sorry.
Right.
She did such a fantastic job.
I don't care about the second movie. I don't care about
2 wasn't good.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a second.
1, I can watch that over and over. It's one of those TNT movies now that comes on. Oh, okay. When she gets up in the war and runs through the trenches, that's the dopest part.
But Wonder Woman 2, when she's training and they show her how she technically cheats, was phenomenal. Like that whole
the beginning of Wonder Woman 2 was
phenomenal.
Was awesome. Yeah, it
was
awesome.
But the story and it wasn't good. But again, I have to give it to them. It was their way of trying to develop that character in the 80s.
I wasn't mad so much at their try. They failed, right? You're gonna part of life is trying and failing.
All right,
that's why I'm not mad at
Stan, we need to shut up and let Kyle talk.
Kyle.
Oh no! Finish what you're saying.
Yeah,
I had one thing to say about.
That's
Witcher.
why I'm not mad at part 2 because part 1 was exceptional. Part 2 was a failure, but Godot acted good. I expected to see another movie from her. Oh man, that freaked me out, bro. I thought both your arms were over here. But at the end of the day,
the wine down. Just put the wine down.
Right?
Stop.
We're going deep.
Wine, cheese, and comics, please.
There you go, Kyle. Your thoughts?
I share your sentiments on Superman and Wonder Woman. However, I don't share the sentiments on Witcher. I was asking Mark if he had an opinion on best Superman. I think mine might be Henry Cavill too. However, Henry Cavill is like a gamer dude who grew up in gamer culture, and gamer culture isn't very nice. And in fact, gamer culture is very male oriented, and there's some misogynistic things coming out about Henry Cavill, and that bled onto the Witcher set. So there's 2 sides to this story. We just got to be careful.
That might be the case. And speaking of news stories and news, Justin Roiland Just today,
No, I
everyone's
know.
favorite
Don't
Rick
you
and
go there.
Morty.
Time out.
What
Time out.
the
Time
F?
out. Time out. If you watch any episode of Rick and Morty and don't expect this type of behavior from the
I
creators,
know,
what the
but
hell are you
still,
watching Rick and Morty for? Because literally,
still,
he portrays his own type of mindset
and-
in the characters to a T. He literally took his life
yeah,
instances
yeah.
and put him in a character and was like, haha, this is what I do. Bye
And when you
bye.
see his direct messages, it's like he's talking
It's
to
it coming
Rick.
from Morty. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
Morty.
coming
Yeah,
from Morty. It's Morty. That's what's crazy, ladies and gents. What we're talking about right now is the co-creator or creator of Rick and Morty, Justin Roiland, major factor in the pop culture of the of the series, has just stepped down, has been removed from the show, has been stepped down from his own video game series, everything to do with him. He's stepping away because of one. There's a whole big domestic violence
He's not
case.
stepping away. He's being told that ties are cut. He's
Yes,
not stepping away. The
he's not
ties have
stepping
been
away.
cut.
Ties have been cut, but in terms of his video game, he did step down from that as well because that's his own product.
Yeah.
So what's happened right now in a short span, so much information has come out about this court case that he's been embroiled in for the last couple of years, where it's basically saying he's alleged to have held, a significant other hostage and got into a fight with that domestic battery. That created people looking into his history where they found these text messages where he's been talking to underage girls, and it's been very disturbing.
and some
it's
issues at Squanch Games too.
Yes,
so.
Squanch Games. So from that standpoint, we are looking at. Let me just ask you this question straight up. Everyone loves Rick and Morty. Is the show dead? Is Rick and Morty dead?
I don't. I think honestly, the show's been dead for the last 3 seasons. If you ask me honestly.
Season 4 was season 4. What was that? That wasn't that Corbopoulos Michael's start. Season 4 was a hit. I think 5 and 6 have been.
I'll say okay. So they're working on 7 now. So I'll say the last 2 seasons.
I stopped watching at 3. So
and look, I loved High on Life just because it was a fun game to play when I was traveling and everything else. But look, I don't condone it. Like same way I feel about Ezra Miller. I won't go see The Flash because I don't condone it. Like I just don't. Like you are a person that is looked upon. Yes, you're human. Yes, you can make mistakes, but like
absolutely.
But you got to have those consequences, just like everybody else.
But to understand, like, and again, this is kind of personal to me. But like, my son is 4 years old. My son loves watching the Justice League with me. My son loves reading comic books. Like I'll read comic books to him. I'll read trade paperbacks with him. To sit there and be like this person who's the Flash, like outside of that character, like that gave him a status. He used that status to be miserable and mean and hurtful to people and do negative things. I'm out. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm out just because that's not someone I want my son to look up to.
Yeah, no, I have to echo that, and I know Kyle had something to say about the piece as well. What were your thoughts on Rick and Morty, Kyle? Is it dead?
Oh yeah, I'm very cut and dry on these kind of things. I have a hard time separating personal life and art and work. So if somebody is like morally bad person, I just don't want to support them because they get money for that. And I'm not going to support somebody who does like bad things.
That's
So
how I feel
it's just a moral thing for me. And I'm pretty black and white on it. Maybe there's some gray if like there's some what was that one guy? He was in a movie with Superman. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. The guy came out and then he had a bunch of
the UK guy.
Yeah, he had a bunch of negative. What was that?
It's not Eggsy, right?
No. That's
no.
Henchman.
It was the guy from A Man from U.N.C.L.E. He played opposite Henry Cavill in the movie. And he came out with some stuff, and it turned out that he just had like some kinks and
Army
some
Hammer.
people weren't. Yeah, thank you, Army Hammer.
Yes, yes.
It was all kink based, and like he had some kinks that like got twisted into like being like this whole bad story, and like that's the only gray area that I have, because I don't think he did anything wrong. He just has like a weird like
Fetish.
fetish. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna fetish shame anybody because everybody has their own fetish. Thank you, Army Hammer. Kevin Spacey. Oh God.
Oh, let's not go down
See?
that platform.
All right, we're on a slippery
We're
slope,
going on a
gentlemen.
slippery slope.
Where are we with this James Gunn talk? We
So
still need to talk about the
I think we've
DC
all
announcement.
agreed that there's no saving the DCU.
So
And
listen,
I think Batman is its own separate thing, and James
Okay.
Gunn is not going to bring anything revolutionary to the DCEU.
okay,
Okay.
so listen, I'm gonna retract that. I think James Gunn is gonna bring something financially revolutionary to DCU. Content wise, I don't think it will be there, because I think the people that are jumping shit from Marvel because they love Guardians are going to go to the DCU hoping that, because we did see a spike in Suicide Squad 2, we did see a spike in Peacemaker, and people want that raunchy type content, and I think that's okay. I think it's okay in the right element, but that's not what DC does. DC has those deep, dark stories. Again, Batman, moaning over like the depression of his life. That's the DC. But the one thing I can't take back from him was the fact that Flashpoint was going to give me Batman Beyond with
Michael Keaton.
with Michael Keaton being old man Batman.
Yes.
That is literally a dream of mine. And the fact that he took that from me, that man, if I see him on the street, I'm gonna curse obscenities at him.
Oh, cool.
So
did you see
Nate's
Evil
Comics
Geniuses?
wants to talk about his fetishes, so we're gonna let him jump in.
I told him to jump in my DMs. We can fetish that out there. How's that sound? Evil
just be the
Geniuses
moderator
had
of
a
those
cool comment.
DMs?
He was at Sans. Critical Role just announced that they're turning their second campaign into an animated series. That's
There
pretty
we go,
cool.
man. There
Yeah.
we go.
Critical Role is dope.
Evil Genius put me on a Vox Machina. Vox Machina second season coming out.
Yeah, you were talking about that last night on the Cookie Show.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a hell of an anime that Amazon is doing. If you guys are not up on it,
Amazon's been doing pretty good.
I just
man.
listened to the pod. I just listened to the podcast.
Yeah, Amazon is they're investing wisely, man. I love that. For as much as they spent on Lord of the Rings, I wasn't happy with the story, but the look and feel of that shit was amazing.
Really?
I wish they would have just had a better story.
Willow was better than Lord of the Rings.
It was only better because the villains were better. The villains in Willow were actually better than Amazon's.
I come full circle. Leave me alone.
So let's talk about The Last of Us, man.
Let's do it. There we
I can't
go.
argue with you on this. Like, I agree with everything Sans is about to say. I'm just saying, I agree with
The
everything.
Last of Us was terrible, and I don't think anybody's...
Get out of here.
What just happened? That just flipped the script. I was like, what?
Listen, ladies and gents, if you're not watching The Last of Us, I think it is HBO at its classic approach, man. I think HBO is back on its freaking, we need dominate our Sunday nights again. We're going to pump all the money in the world into this. When I saw the end of episode 1 and saw the buildings and the worldscape that they put together, and then you watch episode 2 and you see the landscape of Boston, I could not wait to see what the rest of the season looks like. And I'm just talking about from a cinematic visual look, let alone all of the acting has been phenomenal. Each one of those episodes begins with these little snippets that just give me goosebumps. Those are the best parts of these shows, when they're starting to break down, what could potentially happen in the future, or how did this happen? And Jakarta, that lady's face when she said bomb, it literally gave me goosebumps. Hands down, this is becoming one of the most lovable, scary shows on TV right now. Thoughts, ladies and gents?
Okay. I was hoping William was in the chat. I need somebody to mark this, where all three of us on this panel unanimously agree on our opinions on one form of
All right.
media, which is very, very
Everyone
tough
who
because
agrees,
there's a
say
lot of
aye.
arguing.
This is
Aye.
noted at 10:06 on January 25th, 2023. We're all in agreement.
And I will say, I went into all the trailers thinking they were great, but I was
Mhm.
against Bella Ramsey playing
Okay.
Ellie. I just
Mm.
didn't think she portrayed visually Ellie. But,
Right.
I mean,
Fair.
Ellie was based off of Ellen Page, so it's
Right.
hard.
You
We know
you
that.
already had
like,
an actress who was based
Yeah.
who was based off of.
So,
Yeah.
but I will shove my right and left foot in both of my mouths and say that Bella Evans is probably the best character.
Because just from a pure
Bella
acting
Ramsey, sorry,
perspective,
Bella Ramsey, forgive me.
just from a pure acting perspective, I was leveled. So I want to address Oregon's comment. Sadly, I'm not watching it. The reason that he's not watching it is that he's got burned by many, many other shows and many other adaptations. I'll here's the one that burned me. Freaking Warcraft burned the crap out of me.
Warcraft.
No.
Warcraft was okay because
it
of
was-
what's her name in it.
I liked the library. My favorite thing about Warcraft was the library. I was like, this is awesome. There's so many books and but Last of Us, I am a individual.
Have you played the game? Have you played the game?
Oh, I'm about to hold on. I sat down on Friday night and I bought Last of Us.
Oh,
And I finished the game by Monday morning, where I was playing the game, passing out from exhaustion, waking up, and continuing to play the game. I did the entire playthrough in about 72 hours, where I just hustled through it. I played the expansion, or the number 2, and I absolutely loved it as well. I was worried about the adaptation, the cinematic, or the television adaptation was going to stick too much to the story. I like that they're taking creative liberties, and I think they're doing a great job with a lot of it. So,
And they're doing scene for scene some of the crucial scenes. Like
yes,
I
they're
love.
going true to what made the story epic.
I like IGN does a
Speak
recap
about
at the
it,
end
brother.
every week. IGN does a recap every week, and they're like, "Here's the game. Here's the movie. Here's like literally."
Yes.
Yes.
And it's like it's one of the first movies that they physically brought the creators on. They were like, "Guide us."
When they were driving in the truck,
Yeah.
No.
and it was
First game,
scene for
Oregon.
scene. Oh my god!
The show is based on the first game, Oregon.
First
Just so
game.
you know, because they but like I totally agree with what Matt said. I'm a big, like, I will talk all day about this because I'm so familiar with the franchise and I love what they're doing. However, if they would have stayed true and just done scene for scene, I would have been out because I would just watch gameplay. I'll just
Right.
watch the gameplay on YouTube. It'll take me 4 hours or whatever.
But they spent the whole first episode 90 minutes on character development.
I know.
That was
I know.
so crucial.
Absolutely.
And
And
it
one
was
of the-
done well. It
Yeah,
wasn't
I
like
don't want to give too much
blowover.
away, but like, look, if you have HBO Max, like, and you never played the game, I don't care if you don't play the game. Like,
Yeah.
it's just good acting. It's
Watch it. Watch
good.
the gameplay on YouTube. Literally,
Like,
watch the
No,
gameplay and then.
don't watch the
Don't
game.
watch it.
Oh well, that'll ruin
Just
it. That'll ruin it
just
for you.
watch.
Yeah, that's
watch,
true.
It's
watch
a
the
show that
series.
you can watch without the. And
Um,
like you said, I love the liberties that they're taking with it because had they did the spores, where if
Yeah.
you played the game, you can get infected by the
That's-
spores in the air.
Yep.
That's everything, right? So we would have had all the characters wearing masks and doing all of this.
Yep.
I love the approach that they changed it up slightly where it's not necessarily airborne, but you literally can, now not have to run around with this mask. But now they changed it to where everything is connected, right? It's
Yeah.
like this is and what's great is that it's a part of science. You have mushroom kingdoms that literally expand hundreds of miles and they can all kind of connect together.
They can, like, fungus connects forests together.
Yes.
Like it's an underground network. There's a show on Netflix if you want to learn more about it. It's called like
and so to
fungus
see
something.
that if you mess with one part of it over here miles away, 10,000 zombies are getting up and running towards you. They know where you are. that was epic, man. I gotta say that was one of the coolest things I've seen.
I understand that it's a creative design. I liked the mask aspect because it was such a good reveal for Ellie, for Joel. So I'm interested how they go about that. However, I need to shout out the costume designers. Like they are freaking killing it. The clickers look awesome. Like I'm just like I'm on board for the makeup
They use the
department and
same
everything.
people from the video games to make the
Okay.
same sound.
Everything. They brought Naughty Dog in from the start. Like,
Yes.
I mean,
Yep, they're doing it right.
They did it right. Like that's Resident Evil. Please take a moment and read this shit and figure it out.
Resident Evil could have been this.
Please.
We're only 2 episodes in. They can still burn their bridges, but so far we are 100% on board. 200% on board.
The feeling I get is this is the new Sunday night.
Does it rival Game of Thrones? As I said.
Right. This is the feeling I get, man. When you had The Wire, when you had Sopranos.
But can you have The Last of Us and then Game of Thrones and then Last of Us and then Game of Thrones?
And then you have the whole year like just all HBO. And my thing is they want their Sunday nights to that they've always dominated, man. They've pumped money into this. I feel like they've done it well. That's what I will say.
I can't argue there.
And so what does it do to the property of so I just sold shout out to LS who's in the chat. I just sold him The Last of Us #3, the 9.8. When I bought it at like $130. LS picked it up at like 185, and it's already shooting up out the ether.
But time out. It's shooting out the ether because it's hot right now. Like let's
That's what I was going to ask you.
Let's not cause this. That's what I
was going to ask you, Matt. That's what I was going to ask you, Kyle. Will this bring the book to a new height? And should people be investing in this property?
Of course.
Funko.
Just like we talk about. We talk all the time. If the trailer hits, it's already too late. And I'm not bashing anyone. Buy what you love. I'm just saying, if you want to buy what you love in a adjusted market, and I say adjusted market meaning like it's not hot, it's not low, it's where it should be. Now is not the time to buy Last of Us books because the series is so hot.
I think that the books were pretty high priced beforehand too.
They were harder to find.
It was hard to find because they just weren't anywhere.
A 9.0 #1 still sells for about $600,
which is wild.
If this show, let's take a look. Let's go back to Game of Thrones. Property when Game of Thrones season 1 through 5. Let's just say something like that. What's up, Kenneth Berg? Good night, man. Before Game of Thrones took a dive, everything associated with that property was skyrocketed. Like you had Funko Pops that were you could not buy a Daenerys Funko Pop for less than $200. You could not get some of these Funkos or some of these comics for less than amount of money. And then the lull hit. Is there still room for because there's going to be multiple seasons of this? Is now even with the price?
They have not secured a season 2 of this. They officially have not secured a season 2 of this.
Good content triumphs. So it was a good video game and it's a good show.
They're doing
it was a
it
good
right,
comment.
though.
They're the definition of multimedia. Like it was. I'm just on board. I don't care about the investment part.
So I'm just
happy that it's successful.
What series should be next? What series do you want to be done next? And I know hands down.
God of War.
No, see, I'm
Wait
not
for
God of War.
Which comic series or video game series?
Video game series adapted like this. What
Far
should be
Cry.
No.
Ooh, what are you thinking?
Far Cry is awesome.
BioShock.
BioShock was cool.
Okay.
BioShock, but it
BioShock was original. It was
future,
City Under the Sea.
It was like steampunk, futuristic.
I got to go with it. Far Cry, you can do it in every era, everything you do.
But God of War could just. It's so.
They're doing it. Amazon's doing it.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. Someone's doing a God of War series, 100%. Borderlands, I could agree. Borderlands has a lot of open-ended content. I could see that. But BioShock had the story. Last of Us had the story. You have to have.
No, hold on.
Borderlands had a story. Yeah.
But it was
Go
so
ahead, what's up?
open-ended. It was
Here's
like
what we
four
need.
rebels going out.
Well,
to hunt.
because they just kept cashing in
Here's
on
what we
DLC.
need. We need the offshoot of The Walking Dead.
Mhm.
Clementine.
No.
Clementine, y'all. That piece was an epic story. They could make that.
I think Pac-Man Wolverado said it best. It was better than anything you just said, Pac-Man.
I do like
my
Borderlands.
God.
I'm
Even
done
Williams
with.
says Borderlands.
Listen, I'm done with Walking Dead. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna struggle with Rick and Michonne bringing Walking Dead back, in my opinion.
So
It's gonna
this
have
last
to be
series,
phenomenal.
this last season has not been bad.
It's not been bad, but it's not been great. It's been, and they ended with the whole showing Rick. He's alive. He's in New York City. He's right outside. Like it should have ended with where they heard his voice. But the fact that they're gonna do Rick and Michonne without Daryl, without Carol, without Ezekiel, without all the, it's not The Walking Dead to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Jesus, man.
Well, he died a long time ago.
My man in the cemetery, dude. Like
he died a long time ago.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. I met Ross Marquardt, who played one-handed. What's his name?
Not Michael Rucker, right?
No. He had the one hand with the barbell at the end. God, I met him at Terrificon, and I met him after Terrificon, and we actually had drinks together. And he was probably the coolest dude I've ever sat down with, and he was so true to life. We had like 2 drinks, sitting at the bar together.
There you go, Ron.
Like it was the best. Aaron, thank you, Someday Da Vinci. Aaron, he was phenomenal. He was at Terrificon 2021. Was the highlight of the show. It was him and Michael Rooker.
I was never a big fan of Aaron, but he was cool.
Cool.
He just seemed like he just never rose to a prominent character for me. He always seemed like a secondary guy that listened to other people more than took action. Man.
It's kind of like you on the show.
Yeah, I always rise to action, and you sit back and wait, man. That's why you're an Aaron of the show, bro.
I mean,
we just want you to be better, Matt. That's all. You do better by being better, all right?
I set my standards low.
All right, so let's talk about let's shift gears again, man, because what we hear, so much of us are into this comic game, and so much of us buy and sell and are labeled flippers.
Yeah.
So, flipping comics, y'all. One of the final segments of this show tonight, we want to talk about flipping comics. Is it fair or foul? Flipping comics has begun to piss a lot of people off. I will tell you this. So, recent story. Warren Lau recently dropped a foil of Action Comics 1051.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I grabbed a couple copies. There's Power Girl on the cover. I grabbed a couple copies.
Did they button up her?
No.
Oh, okay.
They let it live, and people are loving it. People are loving it because the comic, the comic actually has some meat to it too. So by the time I posted that, I had people in my DM saying, "God damn you, flipper! I only bought a couple copies." Right? I'm not like one of these stores that bought like 100 copies of something, but the flipping mantra is: are people mad at if you buy 100 copies, if you buy 2 copies? What's the difference between 1 copy or buying a couple? I've always been known to buy 3. I'll sell 2, keep 1, and the 1 is free. You know what I'm saying? So, is flipping fair or foul?
It's doing it within reasonability.
Intentions. Yeah, I'm with Matt on this.
If I'm buying a book and I know the book is hot and other people want it, and I say I bought it for 40 and I sell it for 60, that's fair. If I bought a book and I know it's hot, I bought it for 40 and I'm selling it for 125, fuck you. I'm just gonna go right.
What sets the market?
So listen.
But what sets the market if you follow eBay or what?
So listen. Yeah, the Spider-Man book is exactly what you're going for, because I despise this book every way, shape, and foul. And this fucking book making fucking $7,000 in a 9.9.
Baited him into it.
I
Hey,
literally
Cal,
want to
did
take
you
a
keep?
baseball
Did you
hit.
keep record? How much did we say that book was going to be going for?
It's not July yet, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we got a couple months, but holy
Like-
crap.
Like, relax. Like, all right. So listen, I understand there's FOMO. I understand there's hot books.
Absolutely.
But I can tell every single person in this comic, in due this time shall pass. Like this hot moment of that book being $9,000 for a 9.9. Get the fuck out of here! You're spending $9,000 on that book right now. But if you do, I'm sorry for you. In time, I do not think it'll ever be worth that. But you know what? If you like it, go for it. Again, I cannot fault a seller for selling a book at a value if it sells. I can
Okay.
only fault the buyer because the buyer wanted it enough to pay the price for it.
That's
So
fair.
as a flipper, you do you. I respect you, but if the buyers do not respect you, they will not pay your price.
Heck
There
yeah.
you go. And I've always said that.
That's pretty good.
I've always
Well
said that
stated.
to buyers. If there's a price that you don't agree with,
Mhm.
then don't buy. Right? Don't let the market set at a price.
It makes
And here's
it
what
makes
here's what I'll say. I think there is some market manipulation, right? Because you'll
absolutely.
see some people who may buy 20 books
Uh-huh.
and they'll have a friend or two buy 2 or 3 of these copies and
then
set
he
a
froze.
market price,
He
right?
totally-
So people are
He
looking at
totally
eBay,
froze there,
and
right?
that price is, oh my God,
Right,
it's $200 right now.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with what you're saying. It was just weird because you kept freezing during that statement. If you want to restate it, it might hit a little bit harder, Sans.
No,
Yeah.
it was just the same. Trust me.
Oh, okay. so so first off, I think Echo the Dolphin is better than Flipper. Anybody can fight me on that. And for those of you who don't know who Echo the Dolphin is, for those of you who don't know who Echo the Dolphin is,
Watch Nickelodeon cartoon for a little bit of your life.
yeah, there you go. As for flipping, I think Matt kind of summed my feelings up. Like there are well-intentioned flippers and then there are not well-intentioned flippers. The only thing with the comic market that I'm a little bit frustrated with is that I was a buyer and now all of a sudden I'm a buyer and a seller. And then all of a sudden everybody's a buyer and a seller. Like it's a community aspect. So what's wrong with that? We're
Look,
giving back and forth.
I agree with you. Look, I'll be honest with you, 90% of the people that are buyers are usually flippers. They're gonna take it somewhere and they're gonna flip it later. Like
Yeah, my prices are good.
I'll be honest with
people...
you, I hate William because William always buys my shit, then flips it for quadruple the value. So William, if you're in this chat, fuck you. But I understand the art of it. That's why we're here. The
Absolutely.
hustle game is there. But the hustle game doesn't matter if there's not buyers to buy it.
Correct.
So buyers, you have the power. Flippers, you can put any price you want. I mean, I always find it funny when the guy gets a hot book and they're like $99,999 and they put it on eBay. It'll never sell, but damn, I commend that man for just putting it out there.
Try it. It's like, oh, that book is up for $23,000.
He's got nothing to lose. I mean,
yo, I've gone to Matt and I've said, Matt, why are people mad at me for posting this? He was like, Sans, sell the book for whatever the fuck
Evil geniuses can't be mad at that. If you are reaching out to your comic shop before FOC and you want to buy as many copies as you want, do it because that's what stimulates all of this. That's what keeps everything going. If you want to buy 25 copies to get the 1 in 25, do it.
Here's the thing. Everything is supply and demand. Everything is where you are. And I also echo this because I posted some books on eBay and people were like dirty flipper, blah blah blah, and those types of things, those comments, all I have to explain to them is that there's an ecosystem to this. If one, like Matt said, don't buy anything if you can't afford it, and don't chase it. Like if you're mad at it, don't chase it. Show your opposition by not spending your dollars.
Absolutely.
But the other part of it is a lot of the hype and a lot of the secondary market drives comic sales and other things. So
Correct.
when you have people when you have things that I learned this the hard way, Matt had to sit me down and he said, Sans, fuck your needs. If you go to the Comic-Con, you're not guaranteed anything just because you bought a ticket. You don't get to get that exclusive. And guess what? You need to find other ways to have fun there. And I said, you know what? Matt is right. Who said I'm guaranteed a comic or a Funko or anything because I bought the ticket? And I'm like, they should guarantee that I can get online at least. He said, no, that's not what it's about. And that's what I feel like this whole thing is with the flipper as well. Like, you don't have to support them, but there's a secondary market for a reason because books get hot. And if you want that, some people are willing to pay it. And that goes to the Eminem books that Matt is talking about.
Stop gaslighting him.
you may not like a book, but that book may have legs, right?
That's fair.
Be honest. How many? So say you have 10 books that you're flipping.
Yeah.
8 may be a success. 2 you may get burned on. It happens.
It's usually 50-50 or less.
It's no different than you go into the casino and putting $50 down on blackjack.
Absolutely.
You are gambling on whether that book is hot, whether that book is in the grade that you want, whether the book is going to get graded in CGC 9.8 because CBCS doesn't fucking matter. I'm sorry, I'm going back to my CGC roots, but it is literally a gamble. You are at the high stakes poker table when it comes to comic books, and it's up to you what you're willing to put down.
Absolutely.
You know who's losing? You know who's losing? A lot of these stores. A lot of these stores are losing.
Yeah.
They bet on a lot of variant covers. Frankie's is going bankrupt.
Aftershock.
A lot of these stores and publishers are losing because what it means is you can take your shots. Me and Matt took a shot on a cover, right? But we hedged our bet.
Broke even. We broke. Right? We broke even. We broke maybe a little above, but with the comics that we lost with the shipping, and we didn't break even. I mean,
we didn't break even. But what we said was, you know what? Let's hedge our bets. Let's not go 500. Let's go this amount and offer a platinum level so that we can break even.
Stop. This motherfucker, for Pete's sakes. No, I'm not fucking mad I lost on that goddamn M&M book. I'm gonna ride that shit to fucking July and win that damn bet.
Matt doesn't want the book regardless. I don't want the book either.
He wants to buy it.
And I'm a huge M&M fan. I don't want that piece of shit.
He doesn't want it. He doesn't want the book.
We will see. Get out of here. We will see, man.
My Pete. Get out of here, you chicken fucker. Get
out. The fact that people are kind of setting their own prices. I mean, and people have like an image online. I mean, it's a very delicate thing because like you'll see in the auctions, you'll see that there are certain sellers that come on and they're just sitting there showing books, not selling much, and it kind of shows, and you feel like we're not blind. Like let's say that I come on to an auction. I'll sell a bunch of books, right? But then I'm like a notoriously slow shipper. But I'm always going to be there in the DMs. You just have to message me. Like, you have to balance certain things. There's like either likability, there's image. If you're out there buying 50 books and flaunting that you have 50 books, it's not going to go over well because we're all rational.
It is not going to go over well. And when I looked at Warren Lau's DMs, people were going crazy, but it's no different than any other sellout. And again, I go back to Matt's lesson. Matt had to sit me down. It was like that airplane episode where the guy was flipping out and everybody was walking around smacking the person like, shut up, sit down. You had people online ready to box that person. My argument was, if I go to a Comic-Con, somebody better guarantee that I get either access to the Funkos or access to the exclusive comics. And Matt said that has never been the case. You need to take a look that these exclusive never hold their value. And guess what? You never get them anyway. So go enjoy the artist and the experience.
What do you do when you go to conventions normally? You wait in the
I
lines
go
and
to
try to buy.
spend money. I go to
Don't
spend
put that
money
gas on the
on
fire. Don't you
signatures.
dare put the gas on the fire.
I go to spend money on signatures and get the goddamn exclusives, man.
You want to know what I? You want
I
to
need
know what
three
I do?
things. Hold on, let me tell you what I
Okay.
need.
Yeah.
I
Let's
need
go.
three
Sorry,
things.
I asked the question.
I need access to the Funko store for all the Funko exclusives, right?
Okay.
All right, so he goes to these
Wait, that
cons,
too.
and he literally just goes for these exclusives.
I need access to the Dragon Ball. What is it? It's Dragon
Bandai?
Ball Super. Or they have the Gundam. I forget the name. Bandai. I need
Bandai.
access.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
need
saying.
access to Bandai to
Okay.
get my Dragon Ball figure. So I got
What about
the Broly
Hasbro?
and I got the Goku.
What about Hasbro?
No, I don't need Hasbro as much.
Okay.
And the last thing I need is the goddamn line to the exclusives that you when they say you got to line up at 8 a.m. No, man, you need to automatically give me a chance to get that book since I paid for it, man.
Hey, for Pete's sakes, Blank Cover Battles would really love to get in touch with him too.
I haven't talked to Chad.
Chad showed up. Hold on, real quick. Chad showed up. I talked to Chad a little bit a while ago. That's Harm's way you're talking about, man.
Oh man, my
this
bad.
is RCG. He's at a poker table somewhere right now. I'll let him know you're looking for him. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I need to reach out to him too, so I'll reach out to him, Sake. You want to know what I go to cons for, Sans?
What?
Artist Alley, to buy art. Panels, to go learn things and meet people and talk to people. Yeah, exactly. And number 3, I just hang out and cosplay. Literally. That's all I do. That's freaking dope.
That is
What's
awesome.
up? What's up, Roy?
That is the creme de la creme of 2022, like there. That
Absolutely.
replaced my Final Fantasy V first Doctor
But
Doom.
art, panels, and cosplay. That's what I go. I'd hardly buy. Well, I do buy stuff, but it's mainly art.
You want me to be real with you? 2022, I went to 6 cons.
Oh, that's dope. What's that one? The Miles
2022. I got into some art, custom covers. The Year of Soul, man.
Twice.
I didn't know that
twice.
there was
This is the
Miles
Batman
Morales
Who Laughs, my favorite DC villain.
Yeah.
And you got some Miles Morales goodness. A lot of people think it's Gwen, but this is Miles.
Listen, I'm gonna give Soul a
covers.
shot. I'm gonna give Soul a shot here. If you followed Soul for the last year and a half, the growth that man has done in the last year and a half is why you grind in this community.
I buy stickers.
But
I'm not going to show these up close.
I agree with you, Matt. Like, I've seen Soul go from these little chibi art pieces,
crushing it, man,
to like doing covers like this.
Yeah.
And what I tell him every time I sit down with him, I say, Soul, don't rush your art, man. Put out one of these every month, man.
Look at Legal Burning, man.
Right.
He freaking takes time.
Like, if you do one of these every month, bro, you will get on some artist's radar where you can do, or some store's radar where you can do a cover, man. I said, this type of shit right here I'm never selling this. I'm never selling this. So shout out to Soul Twice.
Soul Twice we relate, him and I relate on like the pure like ADHD that we both have, because me and him are like, it's hard to keep conversations because it's just so high energy and so like all over the place. But he's a great man. He's gonna do a Bad Batch commission for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah,
that is awesome. Yeah, man, and that speaks to supporting the artists of these communities, man. Because,
absolutely.
Blank Cover Battles, we've gotten a lot of dope artists on there, but there's so many more who have kind of shown through.
That's still a show.
That's still a thing, guys. That's still a thing.
I actually have somebody that wanted to be on too. I don't. I'll have to reach out later.
Ahead,
I don't know how long your schedule is. Is it like April?
No, next show is like 2024, man.
Oh, okay, got it.
So as we begin to wind down, man, final segment, man, wanted to talk a little bit about kind of expectations or fun things you're looking at in the comic community or movies. What are you looking forward to for the rest of 2023, or projections, or those types of things where We got some movies coming out. We got some series. You know, is there anything that you're looking forward to, or any spec? I know the word is dead for 2023. Nobody should be speculating anymore because you will get burned.
No,
What are you looking forward to?
So I called it last year. I said Doctor Doom was the biggest spec of 2022 with Fantastic Four. That hit perfectly.
Okay.
Biggest spec of 2023, Silver Surfer.
Ooh, I like it.
I don't care what everyone
I like
says. You cannot have Fantastic Four. You cannot have Kang. You cannot have Nihilist. You can't have any of them without Silver Surfer in some fate or some fashion. I lost out on my Doctor Doom books because of the spec that I talked about, but that's where it's at. And it's Marvel spec, so you don't see me talking about a DC spec. But
Heck yeah, Roy.
look, just buy what you love, man. Just
Yeah, we
who
say it
gives a
every
shit
week.
what I think? Who gives a shit what Sans thinks? Who gives a shit what Kyle thinks? Buy what you love what you buy, and just have fun with it.
Andor
all
is
I
the
can
best
say.
Star Wars, obviously.
Andor is definitely the best Star
Oh
Wars.
shit!
Man.
I'm out of here.
Oh my god.
There we
Silent,
go. I did it.
You're just
Silent
Oh, no, he's
Skarsgård.
Come
If Stalin Skarsgård doesn't
Oh,
win an
that-
award,
That freaking
speech.
speech on the bridge. Oh my god.
Kyle, talk to me about that speech, bro.
It hit so hard, and I was just like,
Bro,
What did I just
I went
watch?
back and broke down like every section of that speech and was like, he was like, you want to know what I gave up?
you
My
don't
li-
realize
yo.
what I gave up for the rebellion.
my
I gave
God.
up everything.
Everything, bro.
And
I
you're
was
gonna
like,
take
yo.
this from me?
I was
No,
like, yo, this
you are
is-
more valuable than like it's just like
And he was
whoa.
like, so no, you're not gonna leave this role
No.
I've put you in.
Yep.
Dude, that was one of the speeches of all time. Like when you look at like a Godfather or something,
Mhm.
I am going to put that up in the upper echelons. Like
Absolutely.
Stalin Skarsgård's speech in Andor was terrific. That's all I got to
So,
say.
the guy who plays Golem, what's his name? Lord of the
Andy
Rings.
Serkis.
Yeah, his performance was amazing.
Andy
like
Serkis,
as
dude, I felt so bad.
he needs more screen time. I felt bad
When
that he couldn't
got
swim.
to the point that he could not swim,
Yeah.
knowing what so I had to internalize that he knew
Yep.
what the outcome was going to be
The whole time.
from the moment he switched over.
We're still talking. Stay away. Stay
We're
away.
still talking.
We're still talking.
From the moment he knew that he talked about the uprising and they started it, it was like he knew he was destined to not be able to get away.
I'm sorry, I was all out of NyQuil. Is this series still running?
No, you need caffeine. I told you in chat, you need caffeine to stay awake. That was the whole point.
Wait. This is not my sleep. We're still talking about Andor.
Yeah, because it's good, man.
Andy Serkis. Oh my
I
God.
thought
Diego Luna.
NyQuil sponsored that series.
Diego Luna, Andy Serkis. What is the lady that played Mar?
Oh yeah, she was and she was in the movie too.
She was in the movie. Listen, they had at least 4 or 5 actresses who did phenomenal roles in that movie. Matt,
Absolutely.
I understand that like you were not.
I gave up. Look. I got all the way up to the
first arc was not for you.
You
I got
only
up to
got
the
to the heist?
I got to the
I got
to the heist when they got to the house after the heist and he killed everyone.
much-
Like, I want my money. I want my money.
Matt,
I want my money and I want to go.
watch the prison arc. Watch the prison arc.
How
with
can
Andy
I
Serkis.
convince you? How can I convince you to
Watch
watch
the
more?
prison arc.
I'm
Like, what do you need?
And then the final arc.
That's not going to put me to sleep. I mean,
I'm
send me some
telling you,
caffeine
bro.
pills.
Watch the prison arc.
Oh,
You will be. If you're not
It
impressed,
ain't
with the
happening
prison
tonight, Sans. Let's just say that.
So,
Okay, fair.
best thing you're looking forward to in 2023, guys.
Yes, okay. Is my turn?
Yep.
Okay. What do you guys remember when I first showed up on the comic scene? What was I asking for in every chat all the time?
Indie
You were
books.
asking for by the horns.
I was asking for scrolls.
Scrolls, that's right.
I came into chats for like months and months. I was like, hey, anybody got some scrolls? You're like, who's this Kyle kid? And then I changed my name to Promiscuous Time Traveler and kept asking for scrolls. Secret Invasion. Thank you, Jeff. Freaking highlight the crap out of that.
I'm looking forward to it
My
as well,
biggest
bro.
hope is what Jeff Manning said. Secret Invasion. Boom, easiest money. Oh, if anybody wants some Secret Invasion books, I have like 3 copies of everything because I just kept buying them. So
I too am looking forward to that. I think it's a TV show that's gonna remind me of the V. I got this kind of like They Live / the V, like 80s type of vibe.
yeah,
That's
and if
kind of refreshed.
y'all have to convince me to sell them to you though, because I bought them because I love them. Like I've sold one book, one Secret Invasion book, and I was like,
wake up. It's the first of the month. So
and guess what? You know that Marvel series that you thought was bad? It was bad because there were scrolls. Duh.
Exactly.
It's the cop out of the century.
So
I can't even get behind that. Like that can't even save Phase 4 for me. I'm sorry,
dude. You remember?
I am
Bucky
looking
and,
forward to.
Wilson?
I'm gonna say it. Kang.
Okay, cool.
Kang should have been set up much better than he has been already.
so you're looking
That's
forward
fair.
to the villain of Rocky 3 or
I-
Creed
Yes.
3?
Yes, Creed 3. I'm looking forward to. Listen, Jonathan, if you guys haven't watched what is it? Lovecraft
Devotion
Country
or Devotion?
Jesus, what are we
Lovecraft
talking
Country on HBO Max.
Devotion.
Watch Lovecraft Country. That shit was so epic. Him and Black Canary from Suicide Squad or whatever it was, they killed it. Journey Smollett. And the supernatural aspects of that was so good. So I am looking forward to. Yeah, all I gotta say is Jonathan Major has been amazing. I want to see his Kang in multiple forms. I want to see how it travels across this multiverse. I do agree with Matt, man. They should have been setting the foundation. Like
Loki did it. Loki did it. Loki had the ending he wanted. Like if you watch anything of Phase 4, watch Loki. I don't care about anything else.
Loki had it.
It was. I would just want to touch on what Matt said. It was so simple. It was 3 people in an office, and it was some of the best acting I've seen in a long time.
Best acting
in Loki.
Now, have you guys heard that theory that the minute that that Kang heard something was the moment when the Scarlet Witch kind of broke the multiverse or whatever?
It's all connected. When they changed the timeline, it changed her to go evil, and but you know what? It doesn't matter. It's all speculation. You want to know why it doesn't matter? Because
they're all Skrulls.
Don't combine. And
sorry, I had to catch you up because they're all Skrulls. It doesn't matter. Secret Invasion still highlighted at the bottom.
They're all Skrulls.
Yo, Kang's a Skrull. Don't you know this? I'm sorry.
Kyle, I love you. I love you.
I'm so sorry. Please finish what you're saying.
Oh my God, so much fun.
Look, honestly, 2023 for me. Look, I don't care what comes out comic book wise. Read it.
Yeah.
That's all I can say to you. Read it. Pick it up. Read it.
Yeah,
read
make your own opinion.
But
don't listen to.
Are you looking forward to this Last Ronin? Are you looking forward to this new reboot of Last Ronin?
No, not really.
They got a bunch of new turtles, all kinds of shit.
The one thing I want gone in 2023 is the drama.
Yeah.
It's not. I can't say that it killed 2022. I don't care. Look, I've seen Nerdy Girl at a Comic-Con. I've seen Rage Theo. I've seen Golden Age Guru. I don't care. Let them be them. Let you be you. Let you sell what you want to sell. Let you buy what you want to buy and just love what you want to love. And if we can't get back to that, this market, this industry is dead, folks.
Done.
And I can't
tell you, Matt. I think what you saw in 2022 was not only a book correction, but a following correction, right? Who you choose to follow. There were so many people who were tapped into, each and every one of these followers. Like, I don't have those people on my timeline, and I don't miss those people. And it was like there was a lot of drama. Like, I went through and I said, is this person adding value or not? Like, is this person creating chaos, and is it worth it? And I think a lot of people did that. So I agree with you, man. I think there was a course correction of who, and like Kyle said, an influencer is people who have millions of people, but you have your everyday Joe influencer who buys 10 copies of a book and says, buy this book right now, buy this book right now. You're never going to be mad about this, or debate somebody till they can't speak because they say, you know, Hulk, this is that, the 181 is this, and you're like, bro, let people live. So it's like you choose to follow these people if you want to or not. Just make a decision.
And
But they're going to be controversial.
And I love people. I love Thorough. I love his content. I love what he does. I love Pressable Defects, man. They crushed it in 2022. They broke the market. Like, if you're not watching those guys, they're great. But listen, there's not a single person in this world that should ever tell you what to buy, when to buy, how to buy, what to read, how to read, what to sell, how to sell. Just do what you love and love what you do, and that's it. And
absolutely,
look, if you don't like what I'm saying, tell me. Be like, hey, I don't like what you're saying, and here's why. And I want to know, because I'm not always right. I'm 90% wrong, except when I say that I'm better than Sans. But I mean, like this needs to be the year of coming together. This needs to be the year of the buyers being smart and the buyers choosing what they want, and not bitching about some dude that got a box of 75. That dude's been getting a box of 75 since 1985.
But it hasn't been visible. That's the problem, man.
You never knew it.
You gotta call him on it, though. What I did like about it, and what I like is the vocal, just talk up, right? I'm not for the drama, but also expose the transparent. Let's be transparent.
The transparency's always been there.
It hasn't been, man, because what happens was
only been vocal. Listen to me. Just listen for 1 second. It's only been vocal because me being vocal about it is going to get me likes, and I'm going to be real with you. No one gives a shit. No one gave a shit. No one will give a shit. The buyers will buy what they want. I'm only vocal about it because me being vocal about it puts 75 more people in my chat to hear me being vocal about it.
But Matt, the problem is there was so many people who started looking at the bottom line, and they're like,
they still bought the books. The books are still skyrocketing.
Why is that?
So it doesn't matter.
But it's the favoritism. It was the favoritism.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter until it affects your bottom line.
It doesn't affect the bottom line.
It doesn't matter until it affects your bottom line.
The bottom line is going up.
Everybody is trying to make money, and that guy is making money. You want to know why, man?
But you're giving them the fucking media attention they want. You're making the bottom line go up.
You know why? And the reason they
don't give me power because I'll do this. God damn it, you're wrong.
You're both saying,
ladies and gents,
you're both saying no, hold on. You're both saying very important things.
Listen, I want to pause right now and wish Houdat a happy birthday, because that's more important than all of this. Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
No one cares about what you have to say about his birthday.
It's Houdat's birthday. Happy birthday, Houdat.
People subscribe to drama. And a lot of people look at my comment. A lot of people subscribe to that channel because all he covers is the drama.
That's not true. Third does a lot of good stuff. Look,
I'm not bashing Thorough.
He wants good comics too. Yeah, but I will say he rode this wave very well.
Yeah.
Very well.
I've been in Thorough's comics or in Thorough's channels when there's like 5 people there and he's selling like free or new comic book day books for like cover price. Like I've been there. Like I'm not bashing Thorough, but he covered the drama very, very well, and that's what people liked, and that's what people got clicked, and that's why I'm saying you're both right in this aspect.
But you're giving the attention to those that don't deserve it. I'll
take
the 19 people. I'll take the 19 people in this chat.
We gave too much attention to the wrong people.
Correct.
It should have been flipped on his head in a sense that Marvel should have been held accountable for a lot of that fuckery that we were mad at. We gave too much attention to the wrong people. But absolutely. I think 2023, I would just encourage people to continue to call out the wrongs.
Don't call it the wrongs. People get smarter. Do your
research. Smarter. Don't call it out.
Don't call it out because it's not going to change.
Tell me to ship my
What-
books faster.
Whatnot's not
Yes.
going to change.
Yes.
eBay Live's not going to change.
The
YouTube's not going
feedback,
to
though.
change. Instagram's not going to change.
No,
Just
it's
be
not.
a smart buyer. Buy what you
Absolutely.
love.
Yep.
Know
And
the
buy
market
from people
research.
that you respect.
And don't think because someone say, "Oh my God, this is a hot book."
Let's get this guy out of here, man.
He was,
just
he
loves
was,
to
he
hear
was
himself
preaching.
talk.
He was preaching.
He's got his eyes closed, man. He's got his eyes closed and he's talking.
He's watching
all
Andor.
kinds
Is
of-
what he's doing. He's watching Andor. He's just like, how's it going? God damn it.
Now he's mad. Now he's like, I'm not coming back. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. All right, ladies and gents, from me, Baby Matt and Kyle, we want to thank this community for once again hanging out with us tonight, man. We promise, we promise to come back more frequently. If you guys have topics you want to hear from us, please put it in the comments. Please,
Oh yeah, seriously,
as you
give us
watch
some
this in a-
suggestions.
Yes, as you watch this in the rewind, please drop comments. Let us know what it is that you would like to hear, because honestly, man, Matt does a lot of work on promotion and production of this show.
Absolutely.
And
Oh yeah, we
kudos
wouldn't
to
be
that,
where we are.
man.
So
Not only this show, but other shows of the channel, man. So let us know what you want to talk about. Let us know what you want to hear. We are growing in 2023, and that's the biggest deal. From my co-host Matt, my co-host Kyle, we want to thank you guys for hanging out. As always, cheers, wine, cheese.
I ain't
and
cheering you right
comments,
now. I'm gonna slap
please.
you.
I've had it up to here.
You've had it up to here, ladies and gents.
There's a line.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.